Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, and the usual USO. Follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Oh my gosh, so once again, we're chopping around above the MA. We recaptured it. Actually, I think they closed it right on top, if not a little bit above yesterday. But today we actually closed below it. Surprise! Looking at the 10-minute chart, this is the intraday action. You just can't make this up. Every day they have everybody conditioned. No matter what, when we go down towards the end of the day, this thing will go up. One day it's not going to happen, and you're going to just get a flat-on sell-off. That's why I don't really go long in the markets, even though, look at this. This is a nice inside bar that I always play. Came into the 20, did a nice bounce up. But moves like this, you buy right here. Next thing you know, they're flushing it to the lows. And when they flush, we all know how quickly it sells. So I'd rather play short, hold overnight, and do it that way. We had a couple nice little tails at the end here, so we'll see if we could continue up. Or, I'm looking for a hit on this, maybe gap fill up in this area tomorrow for a short. But we'll play it each and every day, or they just gap it down and we start, going. Let's get back into the daily. So daily, same thing, but we're below the MA, or at 20 MA again. We did capture the gap fill. That's where we bounced. I mean, almost made it to that, if you look at the 10. But ultimately, I like this fake print. I still like the 214.27 area and the 50 MA. We continue down on this inside bar, down sideways inside bar, then I'm thinking we're going down. Wild card will be Friday. Remember this jobs report. Better than expected. They tried popping it, never could go. Is this their little routine now? Just shake it sideways for a month, jobs report, pop it, shake it sideways for a month, jobs report, pop it. So that's the only way they're getting this thing up anymore. It's like an old man on Viagra. Every month he's got to take his pill to pop it up. Anyways, it's been a long day, people. So weekly chart. Same thing, umbrella top, looking weak. We have to wait for Friday's close, but we could get fireworks on Friday on the better than expected report. Or this week it just bombs and everyone on CNBC, the talking heads, will be like, 50,000 jobs, that's it. So, but I don't know. Again, this thing needs more volume. There's no conviction. Even if it goes up, it needs to close above the all-time high, 219.60. And let's just say 220. It needs to get above that area on the weekly, and then confirm and keep going on volume. This low volume here just doesn't do it for me. But the monthly chart was interesting. I looked at this earlier today. So we talked about the monthly closing above this green bar. So if you look at, let's see here. Let's go. We got to get the crosshair tool. So let's go on top of there. So the high on this candle was 217.54. That's where we had to close. And we closed today at 217.38. So it did not get above that candle and close on a monthly basis. Still bearish. Now we have a doji too. Usually a reversal, but the light volume, I got to see at least this thing coming back into the lows. Let me pull up my this little guy here. I need to close now below like 214.25, which is that low pivot when we had this guy here. So on a weekly basis, I would love to see it close below this, and then it will be heading down to the 20, then the 50, and then lower. If we want to go higher, we got to get above the 220 area, and when we do that, then we'll talk. I'm thinking 223 to 225, and we'll take it from there. But interesting, they did not close it on the monthly. Let's follow the IWM now. This one's same thing, though. Daily chart, same thing, same pattern. 235, 123.45, just can't keep above it. But they are keeping it above the 20 until we close below the 20 and start heading down. Then we'll talk downside. Moving up, same scenario. It's been the same scenario for months. You got this high pivot around 126.79. This gap fill around 127.59. Then ultimately the all-time high, which is like 119 or 129.19. So until we break above that, just having problems in this area. You go to the weekly, you can see a little bit better. This was a big breakdown area when it really started breakdown, consolidated, tried retracing, and then broke down again. Here they are. But look at this. It's just you could just tell it's kind of just making that rounded top. Come on, give me some conviction, give me some more volume, and push this thing higher up into this area up in here. Until then, I just don't believe it. And now we have a doji on the weekly. Still need 2 days to close, but we're looking for a close below this area, like right around 122.35. I'd like to see it in this area around 121.70 or so, and then we'll take it from there. Each day gives us a piece of the puzzle. Again, 123.43 right into there. We closed below it today. Just can't get above it. And then 7 months up into good area of breakdown. I would expect a pullback or something. But this one here on the monthly, we did close above this high. So a little bit bullish, but now I want to see it close above this high, which is 124.50 on a monthly basis. Then maybe. Again, this is lagging, not good. Everything else is making highs. The IWM isn't. Let's get into the Qs. Qs was only 12 cents down today. They caught a bid. Intraday it wasn't bad. Started coming in, but just in a range. Nothing crazy. The SPY sold off probably the most. The weakest on the day was the IWM, so still not good. IWM should be leading. So daily on the Qs, same thing. Kind of a rounded top, can't get above this all-time high, 118.78, went to the 750, retrace from this pivot to here. So retraced up, got to the 750, never could recapture, and now we're just hovering under the 220 MA. We have not confirmed below it yet, so it still can possibly go up, but I like the inside bar bearish pattern starting to set up. We need a couple, it's looking at Friday for a possible sell-off. If this pattern plays out, Friday will be the day that it goes up or down, but it's on news of the jobs report. So if it's a good jobs report, we'll probably go up. If it's a bad jobs report, we'll probably go up. so who knows, though. Markets are looking weak. We are selling off a little bit, then they're pushing it up. That tells me we're getting distribution up here, and that's basically what they've been doing for the last 2.5 months. They've been slowly distributing shares up at the high, so no one really notices it. This is a gentleman's game. Your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, and all of a sudden it's going to be everyone's turn to frickin' sell. And then it's going to be look out. Again, same pattern as the other ones. Kind of comes up, a little umbrella top, and it's slowly teeter-tottering here. But it gives you 5 weeks of consolidation. So all the big fund managers, they can slowly distribute their shares up here and not kill the markets. And I'm, 50, 60, 70 million on the SPY. Then you get the 16 million, only 16 million today. You get the 16 million, 17 million up in that range in this one. This is a weekly, so a little bit different, but just pathetic volume. And then the monthly we did close above the all-time high, 1590. So this one is slightly bullish, but again, it's just the volume's disappearing. I would, if this thing's going to move up, I want to see this thing above this red candle. Just not doing it for me. Let's get into the DIA. DIA was down 57 cents or 0.31%. Again, this one didn't close above on the monthly, but let's get to the daily real quick here. Again, below the 20 MA, we did come down and touch this area again. They rejected it and pushed it up. So now we're chopping around sideways for 5 days. Let's see if we can continue sideways, setting up to possibly go lower. If it goes higher, you want it to recapture this high pivot here, around 185.60, then ultimately the double top at 186.87, and then it can continue higher. But I'd like to see some more volume and more conviction. Friday will be the day for that, but the last jobs report was pretty pathetic. Usually you get some action, usually you get some volume, and still no volume. And plus with the holiday week coming up, the same thing. Everyone's still on vacation. But the weekly chart, so far so good. We went up, they tried breaking it out, it pulled back, nice reversal, inside bar. Let's see if we can set up for the next couple weeks to possibly move down. Monthly chart, monthly chart, no, we didn't close. We closed above this high here, but we did not close above the high of this candle. So this one is still slightly bearish. A little bit of a doji candle here. It could be a reversal signal, but again, we'll have to wait. Friday is the wild card to these markets to see if we push up or push down on the news. Let's go to the YYT. These are the transports, people. Transports, if these can't get above 8,000, it's still 8,000 with confirmation. That's like the magic number. Every time it gets there, you can't see it on this, but every time it gets above that area, then they pull it back. Gets above, pulls it back. So until it gets above there and confirms, I still think this one's going lower. But the 20 MA was saved. You got this little trend line down in here that it's capturing. So if you're bullish, you need to recapture the 143 and then possibly hit up here in the 144.45 area and can confirm. And I think we can go up. And like I said, we need more volume in here. If this trend line cracks, we get below the 50 and the 200, I think we're heading down, and we're going to head down fast. Everything will be a SPY and Q and IWM trade. If those are all selling, everything's selling, period. Weekly chart. Weekly still. Inside bar, bullish consolidation. We're still above the MAs. If this pattern fails, we are going down fast. If this pattern plays out, we still have big resistance around 145, 146, and ultimately 150, 151 area. So you got to be careful with this one. If you're bullish, I would start to take some off around the 150. That's a big even number. And I would keep an eye on the SPY and all that and see how that's reacting. If you're bearish, you're looking to get a close below these MAs. This pattern fails. Ultimately, you want to close below 137.89. And I think we're on to at least 133 and this trend line down here right around 130 or so. So either way, it's a 50-50 shot. But if this pattern fails, down. If this pattern plays out, we're going to slow grind up into this. But I want to see more conviction with more volume. Let's get to the USO. Remember the RBC call. It's bullish. Everybody needs to get in right here. Right. It already ran. And then right here, they're starting to talk about bullish. The only reason they talk about bullish is we have the MAs here that it needs to crank through. We have a gap fill it needs to fill. And it needs to get through that because that's big resistance. So an upgrade, more chitter chatter with the talking heads will help this thing go up, but then it goes up right into this 20 and this 50 MA and the 618 retrace. Come on, and this high right here at 1136. Come on, and then look what happens. Boom, gets rejected, gets below the MAs, and now this close on the weekly so far. If we close below this candle, we got 2 more days. It's gonna get ugly. I'm telling you, we're going right back down to. At least, let's see, let's go back to this one here. I think we're going right back down to this $9 level or so. Well, nah, there's a gap fill around 975. We'll have to see what happens when it gets to $10. This was an ugly reversal. And look at this, down, sideways, 1, 2, 3, 6 days sideways, nice consolidation, and boom, we're selling. I would expect this thing, unless we got manipulation, to keep going down to about the $10 level, 975. We still are in the 618 retrace here from this high pivot to this low pivot. So we do have support in this area. If this doesn't get saved or we start setting up sideways like this, we're setting up for the next leg down. Weekly chart, like I said, this was great. I mean, if you weren't shorting this thing up here into this resistance, then get the heck out of here. 3 bars up in the huge resistance. You have to short this thing. We took the SCO. We sold the whole portion today for at least 10%. We sold half, and then the last half. Got a great gain on that one. We did cover half the USO position as well, so we gained on that. And we covered the Halliburton as well for a nice gain. So we had 3 oil positions. We're still in Exxon. I think we could get a little more out of that one. But we've done trades on that where we sold, added, and we're doing fine on that, so I'm not too worried about it. But if this thing continues down or closes down into the $10 area on the weekly and closes below this inside bar, I think we're getting lower prices. Again, remember we talked about this inside bar. You can go back to my videos. If it doesn't close above this inside bar, it's going down. And then this bigger move sideways, this is bearish. So we have a bearish pattern inside a bearish pattern. And I keep telling you this. 646, write that down on the USO. But still needs to get past 911. The double bottom at 767, but I'm still thinking if the markets start dumping, we're going to 646. Somewhere in that area, you maybe 7 start adding, then 650 start adding, then ultimately 6. You know, hard to say. I mean, they could push this thing lower because you know a lot of people are trying to get the bottom on this, and if this bottom starts falling out, you're going to get a lot of margin calls, and it's going to exaggerate the move. Again, be careful in these markets because they're light volume, and if everyone runs for the exit, these markets will dump. Thanks everybody for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.